Good day and welcome to the Sports Rep Show. My name is Brian Munango. Let's get into the hit list. The Eagles suffered a 3-wicket defeat to the United Arab Emirates in the extraordinary match in Dubai on Tuesday. They beat Oman on Sunday and now will face Oman tomorrow again. TTD Padez Promotions Boxing Development Tournament held a Swakopmund over in the weekend brought some hope to the revival movement of the boxing region Erongo. Close to 50 junior and senior boxers from the region participated. Now the co-owners TTD Padez Promotions boxer Danny Boy, Felestan News and Basel are calling on sponsors to enable them to stage more tournaments in the Erongo region, which used to produce popular boxers in the 1980s and in the 90s. Sundowners into the tournament with the gravel and dirt series at Heja Lodge kicked off yesterday with 24-kilometer gravel dirt race. Over 130 riders took part in the tournament. We caught up with a few of the riders that took part in what is only the first race out of 8. Stay tuned for what they had to say.
Hi, my name's Cheryl Young. I've come to do this event because I'm a seasoned triathlete on the road and I really wanted to do a little bit more mountain biking, and I must say I've been enjoying my mountain biking here in Namibia, and this event is fun, it's short, it's sweet, and Holland have really put a lot of effort into having these series, and apart from these, Holland also sponsors a few other events and helping people get fit by having little aid stations on very long rides that people do for Dash. And I think this is awesome for the kids because it's a safe ride, there's no traffic, it's also a very safe route, and beginners can do it and older people can do it because I'm a bit of a master at this, or grandmaster almost. And I just think people should come out and do this a bit more often because it's a nice way to round off your day, especially if you've had a hard day at work.
My name is Shafita Mukushu, ride for the marathon, Bay Marathon, cycling team.
My name is Simon Keita and I ride for Arab.
Today we did the first Holland series, the Sundowners, the first 8 races. Today was a good experience, our first time out doing this route. And yeah, so it was fun. It was hard at the beginning with punchy climbs, but yeah, we managed to ride together. Thanks to the R&B team, they pushed me to the limits today. So yeah, using this as a training for the upcoming races for the Holland series.
Today was the first one of the 8 Holland races, and it was very tough for me, especially the beginning, and I enjoyed it the last part because it wasn't a tired road. Yeah.
Yes, and with that, let's take a break and move as we move to the zoom-in segment. Today we have Alfie Njenge, a former footballer and business owner, to speak about the weekend's big game between Tottenham and Manchester United. Tottenham and Manchester United have looked at times, though they are trying their best to throw away the opportunity to finish in the top 4, with both sides showing inconsistency in form of late. Thus far, Arsenal have currently leapfrogged them into the 4th place, and that's why Saturday's clash between Manchester United and Tottenham is very, very important. Here's what Alfie had to say of the game that's happening on Saturday. Stay tuned.
Manchester United will face Tottenham on Saturday in a crucial match in the EPL. United, obviously, right now, it finds themselves on the 5th position, whereas Tottenham is on the 7th position on the log. So 2 points are basically dividing these two teams. Tottenham comes from a 5-0 win against Everton, whereas Manchester lost 4-1 against City on Sunday. A terrible, terrible match for them. What do you think are the chances rather for United on Saturday?
Great. Yeah, it's a title decider in terms of their achievements towards the number 4 position. When you look at it's 2 points adrift from these two clubs, and if you look at the current form of Tottenham, they are sinking high, and especially you don't want to mention the combination of Kane and Song. And yes, they have a youthful team that is full of energy, that is playing for Harry and playing for Song to get into the space and just create more goals to score. Manchester is also here and there struggling. Their talisman, which is Cristiano, was out for a while, and he created also a different hype of either he's coming back or he's going to leave United. And yeah, but they are also not in a bad run of form in terms of the league. And they stand a chance to rob a few points from, let's say they are going for 3 points. They can either steal a point or they hold 3 from Tottenham. Tottenham has also a problem when they play with one of the big guns. They tend to lose focus and they get hammered as well.
Now, looking at the quality of these two sides, I mean, if you look at Manchester United, you have a star forward like Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, this guy is someone that can score from any position on the field. And then you have someone like Mason Greenwood also in the Man United squad. Now, when you look at Tottenham, for instance, you have, like you mentioned, Harry, you have Son. That combination is quite a very dangerous one. Now, if you have to compare the quality of these two teams in terms of the forwards that they have, who do you think will prevail on Saturday?
I'll bring you back to the last game, which was played last year in October, the first leg. On the score sheet, Cristiano Ronaldo was on the score sheet, Rashford was on the score sheet, and Cavani. Those are seasoned strikers that are already on the score sheet, and they will come with confidence, definitely, that they thrashed Tottenham 3-0 last in the first leg. So it will be a different story this time around compared to the current form. And I'm actually looking forward to this game because Tottenham needs to bring their A game, the current form of their strikers between Kane and Song has also been in high spirits. So, but the more experienced is the United front line, which I mentioned Cavani, I mentioned Ronaldo, I mentioned the ever surprising Rashford, and then Mason. Yes, he is still doubted, but Elanga for me was more the brighter star of the youngsters that were coming up. So I think he can also pull up a surprise.
All right, now talking about this weekend's other game as well, Arsenal also featuring, and you are a supporter of Arsenal. Their performance so far, how do you feel about that?
Very consistent. I mean, in keeping us happy. That is, we don't see a chance of going to lift the trophy, but we can already see coming in as a dark horse or a surprise into the fourth segment of the fourth stage. However, Arsenal's form for me has not made me doubt in the recent past 5 games that we are going to lose a game or so, but this is going to be an interesting game. We need to solicit this number 4th position.
All right, just now, before we close off, the score prediction between Manchester United and Tottenham?
It will be a stalemate. I see a draw for Arsenal to grab 3 points and solicit their spot in the 1st position.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Yes, and you heard it from Alfie, so we look forward to the game that's on Saturday between Manchester United and Tottenham, and my money is definitely on Manchester United to take the 3 points home, and yeah, we look forward to that. So after this, we take a break, and we'll come back with Spotify. Stay tuned.
The space between having a dream and making it a reality is massive. And when your dream is to build a quality network for Africa, that space gets even bigger. Paratus' dream for a Pan-African network began years ago. Starting with a single PC using dial-up internet, it eventually grew to become ITN, a Windhoek-based network company that laid the foundations of what Paratus is today.
Starting a network company wasn't easy, but we knew if we persevered, we'd be able to achieve our dreams. During the early stages, and still today, any new customer we get is an accomplishment. Currently, we have physical presence in 6 African countries and provide our services to 28 countries in total. We are not bound by limits.
In 2014, Paratus was born, and the vision of creating an all-African network was becoming a reality. Paratus was highly dependent on third-party infrastructure. That was fine at first, but they soon realized that such dependency would only limit their growth. Their goal was to provide Africa with tomorrow's technology today, not tomorrow. With that goal in mind, they risked it all. Investing in various network and radio access technologies, they established their own independent infrastructure, opening a world of limitless opportunities. One of these opportunities was the Trans-Kalahari Fiber Project, a fiber network line that stretched across Namibia, providing connectivity from Swakopmund in the west to the Botswana border in the east. But the word limit doesn't exist in Paratus's vocabulary, so they extended the line even further, passing it through Botswana to Zambia and South Africa. 4 countries now enjoyed the same quality, high-speed connectivity. Then they threw out the rulebook and made history by extending the line up to Tanzania and later Mozambique. Paratus became the first ever network operator to connect Africa's east and west coast twice. Whoever said impossible is nothing was right.
Paratus isn't Namibia's oldest or biggest network, and our focus isn't on size. Our focus is on real value and real service for our customers. Developing improved network technologies puts us ahead of the competition, but it's our unparalleled quality client service that keeps us in front. Joining the Paratus network means joining a true Pan-African family. We have almost 20 years experience in class-leading technological advancements and deployments. Building a quality network in Africa is just the beginning. The best is yet to come.
Let's have a look at what the local youth are busy with in sports this coming weekend. So first off, tomorrow we have the Cricket Night Bash, the 3rd and 4th round playoffs that will take place at the Trasco United Stadium, where there will also be a special match between the legends and the dads, which will include professional cricket players that will play against dads. And for this, it will take place on the 25th of March. We caught up with Dixon Vambe. Stay tuned for what he had to say.
So, my name is Dixon Mambe, back again to give you an update on the Night Cricket Bash 2022 that we're hosting at Namspire. So, it has happened and it has come now that the playoffs tomorrow is going to be the Etosha Giants and the Matako Rebels, and as well as the finals coming in, well done to the Vanishing Kings and the Southern Sparrows making it to the finals. And just before the finals, we have our spectacle of the year, which is the dads versus legends. So the legends are guys that used to play cricket for Namibia in the yesteryear, and obviously against regular dads that are part of our academy. It's always a great show, and it's always fun to watch, and obviously a good platform for families to come and enjoy a day out at Trasco United.
The Namibian Wrestling Federation after-school tournament is going to start on Friday. It's going to start tomorrow, and it's the first tournament they're having for this year. This is for trials to choose the Namibian national team that will represent Namibia in the African Championship that will take place in Egypt somewhere in May. We got a few words from Romeo Goliath, and this is what he had to say.
Hi everyone, my name is Romeo Goliath. I'm the athlete representative for the Namibia Wrestling Federation. This weekend we have invited all wrestling clubs in Namibia for the first wrestling championships that's going to take place at the After School Center Wrestling Club on the 12th of March. This competition is going to include young schoolboys, under 17s, under 23s, and also the senior wrestlers. This competition is going to be a trial for the upcoming African Continental Championship that's going to take place in Cairo, Egypt in May. Thank you.
And that's all we have from Spotify. After this, we take a short break. We will return and we'll be joined by Ari Hochad with international news.
While Namibia and its cities are seen as one of the cleanest countries in Africa, plastic pollution is a big problem. Therefore, it's up to each of us to do what we can to reduce the use of plastic, especially single-use plastic bags. At Liberty Life Namibia, we've taken the decision to turn all our old branding items into reusable shopping bags. It's a way in which we can drive sustainability and look after our most important stakeholder, our environment. If you also believe in sustainability and would like more information, please get in touch. Liberty Life Namibia. In it with you.
Good day everyone, it's international sports news and we start off with cricket. It's the World Cup, Women's 50 over World Cup that's taking place at the moment in New Zealand, and it's host New Zealand that had an important game. They played against India and they lost their first game against the West Indies in the opening game of the tournament, but New Zealand came back now. They had a much better performance against India and they beat India by 62 runs. New Zealand batted first. They made 260 for the loss of 9 wickets, with Satterthwaite batting well, making 75, and then India could only reply with 198 all out. So New Zealand winning by 62 runs. A big game on Saturday for New Zealand, the hosts. They play against Australia, that is on Saturday. England will play South Africa on Monday, and South Africa's other game will be on Friday when they play against Pakistan. Now I continue with tennis news, and news is that Novak Djokovic, he announced that he will withdrew from the Indian Wells tournament that is going to start, the men's tour is going to start on Friday, that is being played in California. The reason is that he's not vaccinated yet, and the American law is still that non-Americans need to be vaccinated to go into the United States of America. Djokovic was a second seed for the tournament, but now he drops out, and many critics have asked why he entered in the first place if he knew that was the restrictions or the regulations, and now it leaves the second seed spot open in the tournament. One player that will benefit from Djokovic not being there is Andy Murray from Britain. He was meant to play Djokovic in the third round. Some results from the women's singles that I can mention that already got going, and one surprise was that Sophia Kenin, she was the 2020 Australian Open winner, and she lost in the first round in a round of 128. She lost against Beatriz Maia, she's from Brazil, and the score there was 6-3 and 7-5. Another result in the women's draw is Kaya Kanepi, and she beat American, that is Roland Montgomery, by 6-3 and 6-3. And now I continue with some football news. Champions League football that was played, and it was Manchester City that went through to the semi-finals of the Champions League as expected. They had a 5-0 aggregate going into the second leg at home. Wasn't a good game. They drew 0-0 with that was with Sporting, and they went through on 5-0 on aggregate. Enough for them to be in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Another big game that was played, and that was Real Madrid that plays against Paris Saint-Germain and the PSG as they called, and it was Real Madrid that came back from 2 goals down. The aggregate score in the second half of that game was 2-0 in favour of our PSG, but then there was in 17 minutes there were 3 goals scored by one player, that is Karim Benzema, and he scored 3 goals for Real Madrid, and that is to put them through on 3-2 on aggregate to go through to the semi-final. The 4 teams in the semi-finals then is Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Manchester City, and then also Real Madrid. On to Formula 1 racing news, and it is the Haas team that acted very quickly, very swiftly to replace Nikita Mazepin, the Russian driver that was axed. That's because of the Russian invasion into the Ukraine, and he was replaced by a Haas driver, a driver that is well known at the Haas team, and that is Kevin Magnussen. And Magnussen, he is from Denmark, and he was a Haas driver from 2017 to 2020 before he went to IndyCar racing in the USA. So he's a welcome return. He signed a multi-year deal with Haas, so he will be driving with Mick Schumacher this year in the 2022 season. The first race of the season will be in 2 weeks' time, and that will be in Bahrain, the 20th of March. And to conclude today's sporting international sports news, it is cycling news. It is the Paris-Nice cycling tour that continued. It was stage 4 and it was a time trial of 13.4 kilometers. And the winner there was Wout van Aert of Belgium. A great win for him. He won in 16 minutes and 20 seconds. And in second place was Primož Roglič of Slovenia, about 2 seconds slower than Van Aert. Third place was Rohan Dennis of Australia, 6 seconds after the winner. The overall classification now, it is now the general classifications, it is Wout van Aert that moves up into the yellow jersey because of this win. His combined time is now 21 hours and 51 minutes, and he is 10 seconds ahead of Primož Roglič, that is in second place. And the yellow jersey holder before the time trial was Christophe Laporte of France, and he falls back into third place in the general classifications. He is 28 seconds behind Van Aert after the time trial. The fifth stage will be one of 2 stages that will be in the mountains, and that will be over 188 kilometers. And with that, I conclude the international sporting news for today. Have a great day, and we talk again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of our show. Catch us tomorrow again with Jesse Jackson Kawaitha as he brings you a fresh edition of the Sports Trap Show.